Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jonathan here. I was watching a video on the Ramsey Show, and it was one of their highlights from one of their shows where they call in people and they talk to them about their financial situations. And this call really stuck out to me, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So let's go and watch the video, and then we'll come back and discuss about it a little bit more.
Had an accident 4 years ago. Ken coached me along a little bit about trying to get a better paying job. I was making six figures. I'm not even making but $16 working a big box retail now, and it's extremely stressful. And the hours are from 11 to 8, so I can't really get a serving job, at night or do other things. But anyway, long story short, I've been doing a lot of trying to get a new job. I've been in counseling twice a week because I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to get out of bed by myself. My husband was by my side. This happened in another country, in the Netherlands, but when I came home, I couldn't do anything. And he was still stuck in the Netherlands. I was back here in the States and couldn't do anything by myself. I had to go to therapy and everything. This happened about 4 years ago. So I'm a financial wreck, 58, no savings, I can't even pay my bills. My money doesn't even cover my bills, but I'm so anxious. And sometimes, honestly, I do still term life insurance policy because Dave says have term rather than whole. I do have that, and I feel like I'm more dead than alive. I mean, I can't get out of this mess. I just don't know.
Where's husband?
Husband is 75, can't work here in the States legally, and he's retired. So he is somewhat on the same page with, he does help a little bit every month, very little, because he's still got a place. It's a long story, but he does not even have a green card in our country because that's $5,000 we don't have.
Okay. So you're the sole income for the house, making $16 an hour. How much debt do you guys have?
We have, as a couple, it's me. This is all prior to us being married, $47,000. Go over that. That's why I'm in such a horrific shape. And Ken told me to talk to you guys because not only am I anxious every day and nervous and just a financial wreck, 20 of that is 2 Parent Plus loans. I'm 14.5 upside down in my truck, have tried to work out a settlement. Don't know. I can't even buy a hoopty. There's no way to even go out and buy one of those to get, to do the side hustles. I'm not an excuse maker.
Okay, so her situation is just absolutely terrible. And so there's a couple things I want to say before we start talking about her situation. First thing, what happened to her was absolutely terrible. Just to be in an accident like that when it looked like things were going well in her life, and then just have her life completely uproot like that is something you can't even expect to happen. It came straight out of the blue. Another thing I really sympathize with is just the fact that she was at the point she had to relearn to walk. That none of those things are easy to do. And I think with that being said, I do want to talk about kind of her financial situation because she was making, before that accident happened, she was making 6 figures, and she was 58 years old and she had no savings. And really, one of the biggest things I took away from this was the importance to start saving as early as possible because, to be honest, that could happen to any of us. I'm 27 years old and that could happen to me tomorrow for all I know. But the thing is that you really have to start planning your life early because the earlier you plan it, the more you can adjust when bad things like this happen. And again, my goal isn't to blame this lady for what happened to her because it clearly wasn't her fault. But it is her fault that she doesn't have savings. If you're making 6 figures a year and you live in Atlanta, Georgia, you should be able to save something. In my opinion, at 58, you shouldn't have car debt. Or if you do have car debt, that should be your focus should be to pay that off as quickly as possible. Now, when it comes to the Parent Plus loans, I know that could get tricky because some parents really believe in taking their kids to college. Some people believe, hey, go to college, but don't take on debt. There's so many different beliefs on that, and I don't really have any steadfast rule about college. But what I will say is that really at this point of her life, she really shouldn't be interacting with debt. You know, that truck payment, like, I understand, like, you know, everyone wants a big car. We live in America. That's kind of the standard here. But really, that car should be paid off. She should really be putting on the icing of the cake of her retirement at this point of her life. That's the fact that she went from making six figures to making $16 an hour. This is actually not uncommon for people her age. A lot of times, a lot of companies that pay these really high salaries, they don't want to hire someone who's 58 years old because they know in a couple of years they're probably going to go and retire. And they're deemed to be not as productive as like younger workers in their 20s and 30s. Even though I think that this is very unfair, because I don't necessarily think that this is the case for every single worker in their 50s. This is just the way that corporate America views workers. And this should be a very big sign for people in their 20s that, you know, you're working at this company, it's great and all, they're paying you well, they're giving you all these great benefits, but you have to understand that these people don't care about you. They're just going to use you for the production that you provide and then toss you to the corner when you're done. And it's your job to make sure that you're set up so that you can live the life that you want to live and not just be a slave to corporate America. And I say that as a person who believes in capitalism and believes in entrepreneurship and believes in building businesses. But I also believe that people should also keep their self-interest at hand as well and make sure that they're set up for their older years when it does become harder to find good paying jobs like this. Now, who knows? Maybe she had savings and she went through a divorce and she lost all of her savings. Like, really, we don't have too much context of her situation. I'm making this video more to talk about how you should plan out your future, not necessarily to bag on her and how her life has gone. Those were just a couple of thoughts that I had about this video. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.